All right, here we are back in the garden, getting ready to show you how we get them ready for winter. I'd already forked the bed behind me, the bed here in between the two strings. We'll just take a pitchfork and stick it down in and pull it back. I don't overturn the soil, just loosen it up a little bit. Gonna put compost down. Probably 2 inches of compost will go down on this bed right here. I'll show you how I'll do that all here. So what I did was took a pitchfork to the bed and just stuck it down in and pulled it back. Don't overturn it, don't till it. That's all I do for winter, for any time. I don't till it. Actually, I'd like to get away from even doing what I did, but this bed here is getting pretty loosened up, so I probably won't have to do it again. Now, these here's stalks of the green beans that was in here earlier. They're starting to come back again, but it ain't going to make it very long before it freezes out. So I always let the roots in the ground. This bed earlier this year had garlic in it, and then after the garlic came out, we put green beans in. So I got it all loosened up, getting ready for compost. Just say we're all on the same page. This here's my compost. I make a lot, but I buy a lot out. This is 20 yards. This is what 20 yards of compost looks like. It's a lot. Good old trusty shovel and a wheelbarrow. I quite enjoy shoveling it in the wheelbarrow and taking it up to the garden and putting it in. But to be honest, this isn't technically considered compost, because in order for it to be compost, you have to be licensed to make compost, or you have to buy it from a licensed person, whatever, that has license to make compost. Otherwise, if you're doing things in the organically, you have to, if this is considered manure, even though it's compost, it's considered manure. In order to put this on, if you're going to be organic, which I follow organic practices, I'm not certified, but I follow organic practices. This will be, you have to put it, if you put it on the ground, you can't harvest out of it. If it's a root vegetable, you can't harvest for 120 days after you put this down. And if it's a above ground plant, like say lettuce or beans or peas or something, zucchini, whatever like that, it's got to be 90 days after you put it down before you can harvest anything from it. Why that is, because of pathogens and whatnot that's in the manure. So this here may or may not have been heated up properly to make compost. I'm sure it's good. I used it several different years and it's always been good to me. But that's what the rules are. If you're non-organic, then them rules don't matter. You can spread cow manure that's been eating GMO food forever and spread it on a field, and you can harvest tomorrow if that's what you want to do. Why they're stricter on organics, I have no idea. I guess because the organic systems don't have as much money they don't have as much money in Congress and whatnot that passes the laws. They don't get to say what they want or what they need. So anyhow, enough of that. I'm going to start shoveling and wheeling it up there. Alrighty, so there it is, 5 wheelbarrow loads of compost put in bed. That's 50 foot. That's 1 wheelbarrow per 10 foot. That's probably more than I need. That's about what I've been putting in. These bottom 3 beds, from that bed, and that bed. This is the third fall that they've been in production. Actually 2 years ago I did these beds. I actually made these beds. This was lawn before then, so, and I never did use a tiller. I just broad forked it and put compost down. Yeah, I should have videoed that in the making, but I never. And then these upper beds, these upper 5 beds, they were lawn last year, Last fall I started making these, and I didn't even finish them till this spring. And they produced great. I never even forked them. I never even stuck a pitchfork in them. So when I do that here after a bit, they're gonna probably be hard. These here's pretty soft, so hopefully these 3 lower beds next year I can maybe skip composting altogether. Not real sure. We'll see what the soil looks like come fall next year. But then we'll take a rake and level it out. Alright, I'm going to fork this bed like I normally would fork it. I won't do it on camera though. I did the other bed off camera. But, I mean, you saw me put the compost down and level it out. But right now I'm going to fork this one, and I'll level it out, and I'll describe how I did it when I did it. Okay, so all you do is right there. That's an onion that I never pulled yet, but I'm going to pull it here in a minute. It's just going to be a small onion. But all I do is just take a pitchfork, put it in the ground, about as far away from the last hole as what the forks are long. So 8-10 inches, right? And you just plane it all the way down in, and just pull back. And that's it. That's all I do. Do that the whole way through the bed. When I get done going down this side, I'll turn and go back this way on this side. So that's all there is to it. I'm going to go through and finish forking this bed. It's pretty simple. You've seen how I did it. That's all I do. I don't ever till it. I just loosen it up. Just that's all I do to the garden soil. I never till it, never invert it. Just fork it. Then the compost will get down into cracks and crevices, because down in the soil, this is pretty hard packed clay is what it originally started out to be. And you can see now it's really nice soil, nice loamy loose soil. And that's all I do to it. In the fall, I won't even fork it in the spring. I just fork it in the fall. That's it. So there you go. Okay, so there's them bottom 2 beds. They're forked and composted and ready to go. Well, at least to this stage. So I can't do the rest of it. I got to start up there and work my way back down, because the gate that I go through with the wheelbarrow is right here. Right, so if I could do that bed, but I'm not going. I'm going to go on up. This bed right here that I'm getting ready to fork, it's going to be garlic next year. This bed and the bed the lettuce is in is going to be garlic next year. So that I'll get it when the lettuce is done. I'll get probably 2 more cuts out of that bed, and then I'll fork it and compost it. I'll use a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket, to just carry it over to that, because the kales is going to stay in all winter long. This bed here, I may pull the broccoli plants. I may let them in. I'm not sure. These 2 stragglers up on this end, they're coming out. I'm not going to worry about those. Those I may let in. I may not. So I'll get this bed, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do here. But I can at least get stuff forked, not necessarily composted, because I don't want to go back on that bed after I got compost in them. But you can see the major difference in them from what they are to what they were. It's insane how beautiful that compost is. So at this point in time, I'm going to call this video finished until I get the compost in, and then the next step for getting your garden beds winterized will be in another video, and garlic planting will be in another video separate of it even. So until we meet again, y'all take care and God bless.